In this next section, we're going to look at the distributive property with binomials, and specifically a form of the distributive property that we call FOIL. Now FOIL, F-O-I-L, stands for first, outside, inside, and last. Now the way that this works is if you've got two binomials, you basically have four positions. You've got the first position in each binomial, you've got the outside position in each binomial, you have the inside position in each binomial, and then you have the last position in each binomial. So what first, outside, inside, last tells you to do is follow that order and multiply those things in that order. So to be able to do this, it's actually a fairly simple process. You start with the first ones, 2x times 3x. That's going to give you 6x squared. Then you go to the outside terms of each binomial. So the outside is 2x and the outside is negative 7. So 2x times negative 7 is negative 14x. Then you go to the inside, 4 times 3x. So 4 times 3x is 12x. And then you do the last. So 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. Now the next step in this process is to go ahead and combine any like terms that you've got. So the 6x squared is the only squared term that we have. The inside terms here, those are the ones that we're going to be able to combine together. Negative 14x plus 12x is going to be negative 2x, and then minus 28. So you can see in problem number 3, we've got a similar problem. We've got two binomials that are being multiplied together, so we're going to apply the FOIL method. So 5x times 2x is going to be 10x squared. 5x times 1 is positive 5x. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. And negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. So then once you've got this new line written out, you just combine any like terms that you've got. So 10x squared is going to be brought down. 5x minus 6x is negative x. And then we bring down our negative 3. And so your solution to this one is going to be 10x squared minus x minus 3. In problem number 4, the textbook writers were nice enough to give you a really complicated problem. So what they're asking for is what is going to be the equation that tells us what the surface area of the cylinder is. Now to be able to do the surface area of the cylinder, you've got to know what is the formula for the surface area of a cylinder. Basically, surface area is if you take all the surfaces, what is the area of all the surfaces combined? So here you've got two circles, and then if you were to cut this open, it would actually open up into a rectangle. So we've got to know what is the area of a circle and what is the area of a rectangle. So for that, we've got two bases or two circles, and the area formula for a circle is pi r squared. Then the next thing that we've got is we need the length of the rectangle. Now if you were to open this up, it would be the same as the circumference of the circle. So you get 2 pi r is actually the length of the rectangle, and then you've got the height of the rectangle is just the height of the cylinder. So the formula we're going to use is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Then we're given that the radius of the circle is x plus 1 and the height of the cylinder is x plus 4. So all we're going to do now is go in and substitute anything in that we need to substitute in. So this becomes 2 times, and actually I need to change this to a bracket, 2 pi, and then a parenthesis for the radius, because we've got a quantity that we're plugging in for the radius, so we definitely need to have parentheses for this. So we're going to have x plus 1 squared, and then close off that bracket, plus 2 times pi times the radius, x plus 1, times the height, x plus 4. And I should have given myself a little bit more room there, but we'll just make do. Now, what you're going to do over here, we're going to pull down this 2, because order of operations says we're going to wait to do that until pretty much the end. Then we've got times pi, and then x plus 1 squared is x plus 1 times x plus 1. Close off the bracket, plus 2 pi, And then I'm just going to pull down the x plus 1 times the x plus 4 so that we can do all of our foiling in the same step. So now we've got 2 bracket pi, and we need to FOIL this out. So this becomes x squared plus x, and then do the inside plus x, then do the last plus 1, goes off the bracket, plus 2 pi, and then x times x is x squared, x times 4 is 4x, 1 times x is x, and 1 times 4 is 4. Next up, combine any like terms that you've got sitting inside of these quantities. So this becomes 2 bracket pi, then x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 2 pi x times x squared plus 5x plus 4. Then we need to take this pi and we need to distribute the pi through. And we can go ahead and distribute both this 2 and the pi through, because if you think about it, it's another step down. We would have to distribute the 2 through to everything here. So we'll go 2 pi x squared plus 2 pi x plus 2 pi plus 2 pi x squared plus 10 pi x plus 8 pi. Now again, once we've done all the distribution, combine any like terms that we've got. So we've got a 2 pi x squared and a 2 pi x squared, so that gives us 4 pi x squared. And again, I'm going to cross these out since I've got so many things going on here. A 2 pi x and a 10 pi x, so that gives us plus 12 pi x. Then we've got a 2 pi plus an 8 pi, so that gives us 10 pi. Now we look to see, is there anything that we can do in terms of GCF? So I've got a 4, a 12, and a 10, so we can take a 2 out of that. We've got a pi, so we're actually going to be taking our 2 pi back out of this. And so a 2 pi, and then that's going to leave us with 2x squared, and then take the 2 pi out of this, that's going to leave us with 6x here, and then take a 2 pi out of that, and that's going to leave us with 5 there. So your solution is going to be 2 pi times the quantity 2x squared plus 6x plus 5. Now, you won't have anything like this on a quiz or a test, but this is the type of thinking that you're going to need to be able to do when you get to an SAT. Because they're going to give you a problem that you're going to have to work one step through. So the first step was figuring out what is the formula that I'm going to need to be able to solve this. Then the next step is being able to take the information that you're given and plug it into the formula that you created. Then the next step is going to be to actually solve that equation that you've got and figure out what your answer is going to be. Here in problem number 5, we're given a trinomial times a binomial. So we can't apply FOIL to this, but I'm going to show you a really easy way of going through and working this problem through. So what you want to do is you want to start with your first term in that lead quantity. And you're going to multiply this 3x squared times the 2x. So 3x squared times 2x is going to give you 6x cubed. Then you're going to take again that first term and multiply it against the next term. So 3x squared times negative 7 is going to be negative 21x squared. So what we've done now is we've run this 3x squared through to both of these terms. If there was a third term over here, then we just multiply again. So run your first term through against everything that's in your second quantity. And then once you've done that, you can move on to the second term in your first quantity. So we're going to say x times 2x is 2x squared. Then multiply it against the second term in that quantity. So x times negative 7 is negative 7x. So now we've done the first term and we've done the second term. Just go ahead and finish it out with the third term. Negative 5 times 2x is negative 10x, and negative 5 times negative 7 is positive 35. So at this point, we've run all of our terms through against all of the other terms. Now we've just got to combine any like terms that we've got in this expanded expression. So 6x cubed, there's nothing that we can combine that with, so we're going to cross that off. Then we've got negative 21x squared plus 2x squared. So that's going to give us negative 19x squared. Cross those off. Negative 7x minus 10x is negative 17x. And then we've got plus 35. So our solution for this problem is going to be the expression 6x cubed minus 19x squared minus 17x plus 35.